Sean Combs still behind bars as we speak after a judge denied his request for bail a second time. And the place where he's locked up now getting a lot of attention. The only federal jail in New York City is known for violence, poor conditions, and a string of celebrity detainees. And Diddy's attorneys want him out.
Diddy is on watch after spending 3 nights in the Brookling prison known as Hell on Earth. Is the music mogul a threat to himself?
Once the guard dragged the inmate into another room, the complaint says Spacey kicked the man like a soccer ball.
Sanchez hit the floor head first. Correctional officers took him to the medical area after that.
An hour later, he was back in his cell, and hours after that, he was rushed to a hospital.
Have you ever wondered what life is like behind bars for the rich and famous? Right now, music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs is living a reality very different from the glamorous life he's used to. Gone are the days of luxury mansions in Miami and Los Angeles. Now, he wakes up staring at cold, hard walls in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC. What's it really like inside this notorious jail? And how is Diddy coping with these harsh conditions?
Jessica, this video here goes from 0 to 60. 1 second the inmate is sitting down, then he's on the ground. Again, some might find this hard to watch.
MDC Brooklyn is no ordinary jail. It has a reputation for being one of the toughest, with awful living conditions that have been described as disgusting and horrifying. Michael Cohen, a former lawyer for President Donald Trump, knows this all too well. Cohen once served time at the MDC and described it as a place where waking up in an 8 by 10-foot cell with no pillow and a thin mattress is the norm. Can you imagine going from sleeping in a king-sized bed to a steel one with barely any comfort? Diddy has been charged with racketeering conspiracy and ficking, and even though he's pleaded not guilty, the judge denied him bail. Diddy will stay in this brutal jail until his trial, which has no set date yet.
The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot.
It's not just Diddy who has found himself locked up in the MDC. Over the years, many high-profile inmates have passed through its doors. R. Kelly, Ghislaine Maxwell, and even Jeffrey Epstein and his wife have all spent time in this harsh facility. And it was in that same jail Jeffrey committed suicide. Right now, one of the world's most dangerous cartel leaders, Ismael El Mayo Zambada Garcia, is also being held there.
One of the world's most powerful drug cartel leaders appeared in a Texas federal court on Friday. Ismael El Mayo Zambada.
Life inside the MDC is tough, even for someone like Diddy, who is used to a life of wealth and comfort. Inmates have complained for years about poor living conditions. The jail has faced power outages, staffing shortages, and violent incidents. Does it sound like a place you'd want to be? Probably not. The conditions are so bad that the Federal Bureau of Prisons has had to take action. They've formed an urgent action team to improve the situation, but change doesn't happen overnight. Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnafilo, argued in court that the MDC is a very difficult place to be an inmate. He pointed out that Diddy would struggle to prepare for his trial while living under such harsh conditions. But the judge wasn't convinced, saying that there was no safe way to let Diddy out on bail without risking witness tampering. Could the rapper's legal team do anything to change the judge's mind? For now, they plan to appeal the decision. The jail's history adds even more to its savage reputation. Built in the 1990s to ease overcrowding in New York City's other jails, the MDC is meant to house inmates awaiting trial. These aren't convicted criminals serving long sentences. They're people waiting to go to court.
I called the prosecutors myself. I said, Mr. Combs is in New York. Do you want to know where he is? If you want to know where he is, I'll tell you where he is, but he wants to surrender.
One inmate awaiting trial on gun charges, Uriel White, was stabbed to death by another inmate, according to a Bureau of Prisons news release. A month later, inmate Edwin Cordero died in a fight that broke out inside the prison. Cordero's lawyer told the New York Times that his client was another victim of MDC Brooklyn, an overcrowded, understaffed, and neglected federal jail that is hell on earth. In January 2019, a prolonged power outage plunged the correctional facility into crisis, leaving inmates in near total darkness for a week, exposing them to frigid temperatures that swept the Northeast. The incident prompted a Justice Department investigation assessing whether the Bureau of Prisons had adequate contingency plans to address inmate living conditions. According to a lawsuit filed on behalf of the prisoners, inmates were reportedly confined to their cells for days on end and forced to endure non-functioning toilets inside cells and other unsanitary conditions.
Conditions inside of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn during a 7-day power outage that caused protest and outrage.
The Bureau of Prisons settled that lawsuit last summer by compensating 1,600 inmates a total of approximately $10 million for enduring frigid and inhumane conditions as a result of the power outage. But that doesn't mean the conditions are any easier. In fact, for someone used to the best of everything, like Diddy, it might be even harder.
Diddy is on watch after spending 3 nights in the Brooklyn prison known as Hell on Earth. Is the music mogul a threat to himself?
With the trial likely not starting for at least a year, Diddy could be stuck in that hellhole for a long time. But besides all the drama with Diddy's current situation in jail, he's also facing a mountain of shocking allegations that just keep piling up. For years, Diddy has projected an image of positivity, kindness, and even spirituality, constantly talking about following God and doing the right thing. There's a lot of buzz around Diddy lately, and every day, more rumors and accusations seem to pop up. Some of these rumors have been around for years, especially about Diddy being connected to big cases like Tupac's murder. For a long time, people have whispered that Diddy might have had something to do with Tupac's death. This has followed him for years, and even now, some people still bring it up. And it's not just Tupac. There's also the case of Notorious Big, another famous rapper who was back in the 90s. Diddy and Biggie were close friends, and people have always wondered if Diddy had any involvement in that case too. These two big mysteries have been hanging over Diddy for a long time, making his reputation complicated. Then, there's Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend. She passed away in 2018 from what doctors said was pneumonia, but rumors started almost immediately. Some people believe that Diddy might have had something to do with her death. Even though the official cause of death was natural, the gossip hasn't gone away. In fact, these rumors have only gotten louder in recent times. What's adding fuel to the fire now is talk about a book that Kim was supposedly writing before she died. This book, called Kim's Lost Words, is said to have leaked, and people are talking about its shocking details. According to rumors, this book is about 60 pages long and filled with stories from Kim's diaries. These stories include a lot of personal details about Diddy's love life, which is said to be much wilder than anyone knew. Allegedly, Diddy had affairs with both male and female musicians, and there were wild parties at his house that included all kinds of shocking behavior.
Everyone needs to know Kim Porter's actual story, getting the book out, so people can hear from Kim in her own words. Everything she was tricked into doing, everything she was forced.
The book also reportedly talks about Diddy's relationships from the 90s all the way to the time just before Kim passed away. Some of the most disturbing claims in the book involve videos that Kim allegedly found, which show Diddy with young boys he managed, including one who was only 18 at the time. This boy is said to be famous now, but the rumors don't say his name. The scariest part of the book, according to the gossip, is Kim's last entry before she died. In her final message, she apparently told her friends, "He got me," right before she called 911 for help. This has made some people think that Kim believed Diddy was involved in her illness. The person who says they have the book, a publisher named Chris Todd, claims he got it from one of Kim's close friends who had copies of her diaries. Todd says he edited the book a little but kept most of it the same. He used a fake name, Jamal T. Millwood, to release the book because he didn't want to put his real name on it. He said the situation felt too dangerous at first, but after Diddy's recent arrest, he feels safer sharing the story. One of the big stories in the book is about the famous nightclub shooting in 1999. Rumor has it that Diddy fired a gun during the incident, but his rapper Shine took the blame for him. At the time, both Diddy and Jennifer Lopez, who was his girlfriend, were arrested, but only Shine went to jail. This event has followed Diddy for years, and people still talk about it. Another claim in the book involves wild parties hosted by Diddy. The book says these parties were really with lots of famous people, including musicians and other celebrities. Porter even talks about her and Diddy having threesomes and swapping partners. One story describes how she woke up with a married woman and saw Diddy leaving a room with a famous rapper and the woman's husband. The book also says Diddy and Porter had an open relationship, meaning they were free to see other people. Porter supposedly wrote that she sometimes slept with the late rapper Tupac Shakur, but the book takes a dark turn when it claims that Diddy hit Porter for the first time during an argument. She wrote that Diddy wanted her to use a on him, and when she refused, he slapped her. This shocked Porter, but she didn't leave him right away. She stayed, even though the abuse happened again later. One of the more disturbing stories in the book talks about Diddy attacking Porter in her apartment. The book says he threw her to the ground and pulled out a gun, placing it on the table. He then knelt in front of her and said something chilling. "You're mine. You don't have a choice now. I can't live without you." Porter was terrified and called Diddy a monster. Perhaps the most shocking claim in the book is about what Porter found in Diddy's bedroom vault. She said she discovered videotapes of his sexual encounters and made copies to protect herself. The tapes were disturbing, and Porter was especially upset by footage that supposedly showed young boys. The book suggests that someone tried to sell these tapes to Hollywood producers. There's also been buzz about more witnesses coming forward to testify against Diddy, adding even more weight to the already heavy allegations surrounding him. Just recently, 2 S-workers have reportedly come forward with information about their interactions with Diddy. One of them claims to have had an encounter with him back in 2014 and says they are willing to cooperate with federal authorities, sharing what they know about that night. Now, there are also speculations swirling that some of Diddy's celebrity peers, people who've called him out even before all this got exposed, may be ready to testify against him.
And there are some insane accusations in there. Insane. 50 Cent's baby mother, Daphne Joy, was named as a worker.
If you know anything about 50 Cent and Diddy, you know that 50 has had issues with Diddy for years. Their beef has lasted for over 20 years, but things got even worse when Cassie, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, sued him. When Diddy quickly settled Cassie's lawsuit, 50 Cent wasted no time mocking him online. He posted on Instagram, joking that Diddy paid up so fast because he was scared of more trouble coming his way. 50 even hinted that other women who have had bad experiences with Diddy might soon come forward. 50 didn't stop there. He also announced plans to make a documentary about Diddy, promising to reveal everything Diddy has done over the years. He posted an article about the documentary, adding that Diddy might want to file for bankruptcy because more trouble was coming. 50 made it clear that he's ready to expose all the receipts and secrets.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. He says something fabulous and he goes, yo, no, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What are you talking about?
Things got more serious when federal agents raided 2 of Diddy's homes in connection to serious allegations, including claims of human trafficking. 50 Cent once again took to social media, making fun of Diddy and saying there's no way Diddy can come back from this. There's also a strange and awkward story that 50 Cent shared about Diddy sending him a weird message. According to 50, Diddy sent him a message calling him daddy and inviting him out for a drink. 50 wasn't impressed and shared the whole thing with his followers, making fun of Diddy.
What if he do some like a little fluffy stuff
now
going
you guys
on? Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say?
It's not just 50 Cent who might speak out against Diddy. Mace, another former Bad Boy Records artist, has had his own issues with Diddy for years. Mace left the music scene to become a minister, but his problems with Diddy didn't end there. They've had public arguments, especially about money and control over Mace's music. There's even a story that after Biggie's death, Diddy left Mace in a dangerous situation, which made Mace want to leave Bad Boy Records for good. Another person who might have something to say is Shine. He was involved in the famous nightclub shooting back in 1999 when he was with Diddy and Jennifer Lopez. Shine went to prison for 10 years because of what happened that night, and while Diddy was found not guilty, Shine had to pay the price. After his release, Shine was deported to Belize, and their relationship hasn't been the same since. And we also have Usher, the famous singer, who also shared stories about staying with Diddy when he was younger. Usher described it as a wild time, where he saw things that were far from normal for a teenager. Even though Usher learned a lot from Diddy, he admitted he wouldn't send his own kids to Diddy's place, hinting that things were pretty crazy. Lastly, even Biggie's mother, Valletta Wallace, has spoken out. After seeing the news about Diddy's alleged actions, she said she was disgusted and even talked about wanting to slap him for what he's done. With no trial date in sight and a denied bail request, the hip-hop mogul is in for a tough ride. Will his legal team be able to get him out, or is he stuck in one of the most brutal jails in the country? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Life inside MDC Brooklyn is a world away from Diddy's usual life of fame and fortune.